Welcome back. I would suggest that if you want to keep your board and C-suite actively engaged and productively engaged in helping you advance your enterprise cyber risk management program, that you enable them to focus in certain areas. In this episode, once again, it's in the weeds a little bit. I'm going to talk about 3 particular tasks on which your board and C-suite should focus, not as doers, but as enablers. In the next episode, I'll be focused on 3 processes that the board and C-suite should ensure are established and implemented. The 3 tasks that I'm going to cover in this episode are actually things we've already covered, but I want to shine a little bit more light on them and help you bring them to the fore once again in an effort to help your board and C-suite help you. They are, number 1, identifying and prioritizing your unique risk. Number 2, ensuring that the organization sets a risk appetite by which and around which it's going to make risk management decisions. And naturally, number 3, to actually undertake OCR quality risk management. As former National Security Advisor McGeorge Bundy, who served under President Kennedy and President Johnson, once said, "If we guard our toothbrushes and our diamonds with equal zeal, we will lose fewer toothbrushes and more diamonds." The upshot or the implication of that is to say, this episode, once again, is all about the importance of a risk-based approach to enterprise cyber risk management, rather than an approach that's based on someone else's controlled checklist. As always, before we dive in, let's have a look at where we are in our journey. This is episode number 24, where we're going to speak about some tasks that we'd like our board and C-suite to ensure are happening in our organization. There are a total of 30 episodes that I'm recording, including the introduction and the epilogue. All the episodes are posted to this YouTube channel, where I encourage you to provide feedback. I encourage you to subscribe. And last but not least, if you have any friends or colleagues whom you believe may benefit from this information, please feel free to share the channel and the link with them. So let's get into the subject. Let me be clear. I am not advocating that our board members and C-suite executives do the things that are outlined on this particular slide. I am advocating that our board members and C-suite executives become enablers of ECRM, not experts in ECRM. Many executives and board members struggle with where and how to focus their organization's ECRM efforts. And there are a myriad of things to do, as we've discussed up to this point in the series. I recommend that executives and board members keep asking questions about these 3 tasks that are shown on this slide. They serve as the basis of a true risk-based ECRM program. For example, as it relates to number 1, are we continuously identifying and prioritizing our unique risk? Number 2, have we appropriately set our risk appetite? And are we continuously refining it or adjusting it as needed, depending on the budget cycle, depending on the threat landscape, depending on the safeguards and controls that we may have already implemented? And number 3, are we managing and treating each risk, as we discussed in the episode on OCR quality risk management? That is, are we making informed decisions about which risk we will accept and which ones we will treat, avoid, mitigate, or transfer? And are we actually executing on that plan? It's really that simple. Again, I'm not suggesting that executives and board members perform these tasks, just asking that we make sure and we help them to ensure that they are happening. These 3 tasks do not represent everything that needs to be included in your ECRM program. However, I'll hasten to add they fit in naturally to the overall NIST approach that we discussed in episode 18. And most importantly, they enable your board and your C-suite to focus. So by way of quick wrap up, as always, I'm providing some suggested actions and some references and resources, as you may see on this slide. We covered 3 tasks that we'd like to have our board and C-suite oversee or ensure are happening in the organization. If we regard those at the trees and weeds level, in the next episode, I'm going to zoom out. Instead of talking about tasks, I'm going to talk about 3 important processes that the board should oversee and assure are being established in the organization. Number 1 is establishing your enterprise cyber risk management program. Number 2 is actually implementing it. And number 3, last but not least, is assuring that there's an ongoing effort to mature the program through continuous process improvement. That's it for today. Until the next episode, be well, be secure, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.